Every morning when the sun comes out to play, it wears the same bright orange dress our Swami wears today. It's the color of Sathya Sai, the color of love. He is love, He is love, He is everything, everywhere. We are love, and that is what creation is made up of. Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai Babaji. Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai Babaji. Oh Shirdi Sai, Sathya Sai, Prema Sai Babaji. Sathya Sai, you and I. Sathya Sai Babaji. And every evening when the sun goes down in its same bright orange dress, I feel the touch of Sathya Sai, his love, his tenderness. As he enters the temple of my loving heart, He is love, He is love, He is everything, everywhere. We are love, and that is what creation is made up of. Oh, Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai Babaji. Shirdi Sai, Sathya Sai, Prema Sai Babaji. Oh Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai Babaji. Oh Sathya Sai, you and I. Sathya Sai Babaji. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Raghukula Tilaka Sri Ramachandra, Raghukula Tilaka Sri Ramachandra, Raghuveera Rama Jai Sai Ram, Raghuveera
was no one to know who I am. Till I created this world at my pleasure with one word. Immediately mountains rose up. Immediately rivers started running. Earth below and sky over its head. Oceans, seas, lands and watersheds. Sun, moon and desert sand sprang up from nowhere to prove my existence. Came all forms of human beings, mankind, beasts and birds flying, speaking, hearing, and all powers were bestowed upon them under my orders. The first place was granted to mankind, and my knowledge was placed in his mind. Come one, come all, let us not be ungrateful called. Let us faithfully serve Sai, him, and love him, love him, love him.
कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुम् दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णाम् तपसा ज्वलन्तीम् वैरोचनीम् कर्मफलेषु जुष्टाम् दुर्गाम् देवीम् शरणमहम् प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः अग्ने त्वम् पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूश्च पृथ्वे बहुलान उर्वे भवातोकायतनयाय संयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुम् न नावादुरितादिवर्षे अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानो स्माकम् बोध्यविदातनूना प्रदनाजितगुम् सावानमुग्रमग्निगुम् भुवेम परमा सदस्तात् स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्ष्यामद्येवो अधिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि कमेड्यो अध्वरेषु सनाच्च होतानव्यस्य चत्से स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवम् विप्रयस्वास्मभ्यम् च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तम् तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमपि संवसानो वैष्णवीम् लोकमिहमादयन्त कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच।
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि। Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah.
O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work.
आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, गौरी वरतनया शुभानना, गौरी वरतनया शुभानना, गौरी वरतनया शुभानना, गौरी वरतनया शुभानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, विघ्न विनाशक सिद्धि विनायक, विघ्न विनाशक सिद्धि विनायक, विघ्न विनाशक सिद्धि विनायक, विघ्न विनाशक सिद्धि विनायक, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, गौरी वरतनया शुभानना, गौरी वरतनया शुभानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना, विघ्न विनाशक सिद्धि विनायक, विघ्न विनाशक सिद्धि विनायक, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, जय जगवन्दन तव शरणं, आदि पूज्य देव गजानना.
सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम सबको दीजो, सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम सबको दीजो, सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूप आप है, सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूप आप है, शांति प्रेम जीवन का मर्म है। सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम जीवन का मर्म है। गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम सबको दीजो। सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम स्वरूप आप है। सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम जीवन का मर्म है। गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम सबको दीजो।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी। संकट हरिणी मंगल करिणी। संकट हरिणी मंगल करिणी। प्रणव स्वरूपिणी माता जय जय। प्रणव स्वरूपिणी माता जय जय।
दुर्गा भवानी
दुर्गा भवानी
जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी। संकट हरिणी मंगल करिणी। प्रणव स्वरूपिणी माता जय जय।
दुर्गा भवानी
दुर्गा भवानी
जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
जय जय दुर्गा भवानी।
दुर्गा भवानी जय जय दुर्गा भवानी। I am the light is within me. The light is within me. I am the light is within me. I am the light is within me. Oh, I am the light, I am the light.
Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Omnipotent Shiva, omnipresent Sai.
Omnipotent Shiva, omnipresent Sai.
Omnipotent Shiva, omnipresent Sai.
Omnipotent Shiva, omnipresent Sai.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
You hold the world in the palm of your hand.
You hold the world in the palm of your hand.
Past, present, future at your command.
Past, present, future at your command.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Shiva, auspicious Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Shiva, auspicious Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Omnipotent Shiva, omnipresent Sai.
Omnipotent Shiva, omnipresent Sai.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
You hold the world in the palm of your hand.
You hold the world in the palm of your hand.
Past, present, future at your command.
Past, present, future at your command.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shirdi Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva.
Shiva, Sathya Shiva, Sai Shiva. Shiva, Shiva, auspicious Shiva, Sai Shiva.
जय जय राम कृष्ण हरि 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 विठ्ठल नारायण विठ्ठल नारायण विठ्ठल नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण विठ्ठल नारायण विठ्ठल नारायण मधुसूदन नारायण मधुसूदन नारायण हे शेष शयन नारायण शयना नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण विठ्ठल विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल 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 पांडुरंग विठ्ठल 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 पांडुरंग विठ्ठल 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 परतिरंग विठ्ठल 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 परतिरंग विठ्ठल 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 साई रंग विठ्ठल 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 साई रंग विठ्ठल 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 पांडुरंग विठ्ठल 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 पांडुरंग विठ्ठल 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 पांडुरंग विठ्ठल 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 परतिरंग विठ्ठल 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 साई रंग विठ्ठल 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 साई रंग विठ्ठल विठ्ठल नारायण
जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान 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 मारुति राया जय हनुमान महानुभावा जय हनुमान वायुकुमारा जय हनुमान वानरवीरा जय हनुमान अंजनी पुत्रा जय हनुमान अति बलवंता जय हनुमान श्री रामदूता जय हनुमान श्री राम भक्ता जय हनुमान श्री रामदूता जय हनुमान श्री राम भक्ता जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान मारुति राया जय हनुमान महानुभावा जय हनुमान वायुकुमारा जय हनुमान वानरवीरा जय हनुमान अंजनीपुत्रा जय हनुमान अति बलवंता जय हनुमान श्री रामदूता जय हनुमान श्री राम भक्ता जय हनुमान श्री रामदूता जय हनुमान श्री राम भक्ता जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान
சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா 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 பாலும் தேனபிஷேகமோ பாலும் தேனபிஷேகமோ பக்தர்களின் காவடியோ பக்தர்களில் காவடியோ பார்ப்பவர்கள் உள்ளமெல்லாம் பார்ப்பவர்கள் உள்ளமெல்லாம் பாதம் வீரி தேவனாகி பாதம் வீரி தேவனாகி சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன 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 ஓகோ சின்ன ஓகோ சின்ன 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 ஓகோ சின்ன ஓ சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா செந்தூர் கடல் கரையில் செந்தூர் கடல் கரையில் பக்தர்களே காட்டிடவே பக்தர்களே காட்டிடவே பார்ப்பவர்கள் மனம் மகிழ பார்ப்பவர்கள் மனம் மகிழ சூரனே சம்ஹாரம் செய்தாய் சூரனே சம்ஹாரம் செய்தாய் சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன 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 ஓகோ சின்ன ஓகோ சின்ன 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 ஓகோ சின்ன ஓ சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா தீக்கு வழிதடியாய் முடியோரும் இளைநகளோ மலைகளெல்லாம் ஏறி வந்தாய் மாதவன் மருகா நீ வாவா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா சின்ன சின்ன முருகா முருகா சிங்கார முருகா முருகா
చుక్కలన్నీయు బ్రహ్మ చుక్కలన్నీయు బ్రహ్మ సూర్యుండు అది బ్రహ్మ చుక్కలన్నీయు బ్రహ్మ సూర్యుండు అది బ్రహ్మ చంద్రుడన్నను బ్రహ్మ జలము బ్రహ్మ చంద్రుడన్నను బ్రహ్మ జలము బ్రహ్మ స్వర్గమన్నను బ్రహ్మ వైకుంఠమది బ్రహ్మ స్వర్గమన్నది బ్రహ్మ వైకుంఠమది బ్రహ్మ తల్లి అన్నను బ్రహ్మ తండ్రి బ్రహ్మ భాగ్యమన్నను బ్రహ్మ వాలభ్యమది బ్రహ్మ జీవరాశులు బ్రహ్మ జీవి బ్రహ్మ పుట్టించుటది బ్రహ్మ పోషించుటది బ్రహ్మ పుట్టించుటది బ్రహ్మ పోషించుటది బ్రహ్మ గిట్టించుటది బ్రహ్మ గృహిణి బ్రహ్మ కర్మలన్నీయు బ్రహ్మ కర్మలన్నీయు బ్రహ్మ కాయంబు బ్రహ్మ ప్రకృతి అంతయు బ్రహ్మ ప్రాణంబు అది బ్రహ్మ ప్రకృతి అంతయు బ్రహ్మ ప్రాణంబు అది బ్రహ్మ సర్వమంతయు బ్రహ్మ ఈ సభయు బ్రహ్మ సత్యమును తెలుపునట్టి ఈ సాయి బ్రహ్మ సత్యమును తెలుపునట్టి ఈ సాయి బ్రహ్మ చుక్కలన్నీయు బ్రహ్మ సూర్యుండు అది బ్రహ్మ
All stars are Brahman, sun is Brahma, moon is Brahma, water is Brahma, heaven is Brahma, the mother, the father, the wealth, the deservedness, the living creatures, the individuals, the creation, sustenance, annihilation, the householder, all our actions, the body, the nature, the life, the whole universe is Brahman. This assembly is Brahman. And Bhagwan Sai is Brahman.
మట్టి నుంచి పుట్టిన చెట్టు మట్టియేగును మట్టి నుంచి పుట్టిన చెట్టు మట్టియేగును బ్రహ్మ నుండి పుట్టిన చెట్టు బ్రహ్మ నుండి పుట్టిన సృష్టి బ్రహ్మయగును కాని కనులకు వేరుగా కానబడును కాన కనులకు వేరుగా కానబడును ఇదియే చిత్రంబు ఈ జగత్ చిత్రమనగా ఇదియే చిత్రంబు జగత్ చిత్రమనగా
The tree out of the mud ultimately turns into the mud. Likewise, the creation that originated out of Brahman will go back to Brahman. However, to the physical eye, the two appear to be different. This is the mystery of this world.
Brahma Swarupulara,
embodiments of Brahman.
విత్తనము బూడిలో నాటినప్పుడు దీని నుండి మొక్క బయలుదేరి క్రమక్రమేణా పెద్ద వృక్షంగా రూపొందుతూ ఉంటుండాలి.
When you sow a seed, it germinates into a plant and grows into a gigantic tree.
ఈ మొక్క యందు కొమ్మలు వేరు, రెమ్మలు వేరు, పువ్వులు వేరు, ఆకులు వేరు, ఫలములు వేరుగా కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటాయి.
This tree shows the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits separate.
కానీ వీటి వినియోగము కూడాను వేరు వేరు రీతిగా మనము ఉపయోగిస్తున్నాం.
We also make use of these in a different way.
అయితే ఇవన్నీ కూడాను మట్టి యొక్క వేరు స్వరూపములే.
But all of them, however, they are the modifications of the same mud.
ఆకులు మట్టియే, కొమ్మలు మట్టియే, రెమ్మలు మట్టియే, పువ్వులు మట్టియే, ఫలములు కూడాను మట్టియే.
The leaves are the mud, branches, the flowers and the fruits, they are modifications of the same mud.
త్రాడు యొక్క విషయము తెలియనటువంటి వ్యక్తి త్రాడును చూచి పామని కెవ్వున కేక వేస్తాడు.
Watching a rope over there, because of wrong identification, superimposition, he mistakes it as a snake and shouts.
మరు క్షణమునందే మరొక వ్యక్తి వచ్చి ఇది పాము కాదు త్రాడు అని అతని భయాన్ని నివారణ చేస్తాడు.
Another person comes there and tells, it's not a snake, it is just a rope.
ఈ సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించినటువంటి మొదటి వ్యక్తి ఇది త్రాడు అనేటువంటి సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించి తన భయమును వేరుపరుచుకుంటాడు.
The person, when once he comes to know there is only a rope and not a snake, he will not have any fear thereafter.
పూర్వము తాను చూడక పూర్వము త్రాడే, చూచి పామని భయపడినటువంటిది త్రాడే. ఇది పాము కాదు ఇది త్రాడు అని మరొకరు చెప్పినప్పుడు దీన్ని చక్కగా అర్థం చేసుకున్నప్పుడు కూడా త్రాడే.
In the beginning, it was a rope. Because of this wrong identification, when a superimposition, because of it is thought a snake, it was a rope. Later, after understanding, it continues to be a rope.
ఈ త్రాడే బ్రహ్మ.
This rope is Brahma.
కానీ అజ్ఞాని అనేటువంటి వ్యక్తి దీనిని జీవేశ్వర ప్రకృతి అనేటువంటి సర్పముగా విశ్వసించాడు.
But the ignorant one considers the individual and divine equal to that of a serpent.
కానీ ఒక జ్ఞాని వచ్చి ఇది త్రాడు కాదు పాము కాదు త్రాడు అని ఇది ప్రకృతి కాదు ఇది బ్రహ్మనే అనేటువంటి సత్యాన్ని ప్రబోధిస్తూ ఉంటాడు.
The one of wisdom comes over there and tells him, it's not a snake, it's just a rope. Likewise, this is not nature, this is Brahman.
జగత్తునందు సర్వత్రా కూడాను మనకు కనిపించినటువంటి దృశ్యమంతా కూడాను బ్రహ్మస్వరూపమే.
In this world, all that is apparent, all that we see is the manifestation of Brahman.
కానీ కొంతమంది బ్రహ్మ ఎక్కడ మేమెక్కడ, మేము సామాన్యమైనటువంటి మానవులుగా మేము జీవిస్తున్నాము, బ్రహ్మ సర్వవ్యాపకుడు సర్వంతర్యామి సర్వశక్తిమయుడు అనేటువంటి రీతిగా వర్ణిస్తూ ఉంటారు.
Some feel like this. Where is Brahman and where do we come into the picture? We are ordinary people, while Brahman is omniscient, omnipresent and omnipotent.
కాదు కాదు, ఆ దివ్యత్వమైనటువంటి ఆ సర్వశక్తిమయమైనటువంటి సర్వజ్ఞమైనటువంటి ఆ బ్రహ్మనే నీవు.
That very divinity, that all powerful Brahman is yourself verily.
तत्सत् श्रीनारायण तु पुरुषोत्तमस्तु सिद्धबुद्ध तु स्कन्दविनायक सविता पावक तु सविता पावक तु ब्रह्मवस्वतु यमवशक्ति तु येसु पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विश्व तु राम कृष्ण तु रहीमताऊ तु रहीमताऊ तु वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंद हरि तु अद्वितीय तु अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तु आत्मलिङ्ग शिव तू, आत्मलिङ्ग शिव तू.
आसतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे. भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक पते महेश्वरा. ॐ जय जगदीश हरे. शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपदे स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपदे. आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद बांधवा. ॐ जय जगदीश हरे. मात पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे. नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना. ॐ जय जगदीश हरे. ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा, सत्य साई महादेवा. मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंगल हारति अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम. नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा. नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम. नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा. नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम. नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम. जय सद्गुरुदेवा. शांति शांति शांतिः. समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु. समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु. समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थैष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं देहमाश्रयामि। Sacred, holy and supreme is Baba's vibhutim. Pouring forth in sacred stream, displaying of vibhutim. So auspicious is His mind, it grants liberation. Baba's vibhutim, His power protects me. Paramam pavitram Baba vibhutim paramam vichitram leela vibhutim paramaarthaishtarthamokshapradanam Baba vibhutim idamashayami. Baba vibhutim idamashayami. Baba vibhutim idamashayami. Mangalam Gurudevaya Mangalam Jnanadayine Mangalam Parthivasaya Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Saram and morning.
Saram, sir.
First of all, is our Saisha with us today? Saisha Ram.
No, I haven't seen her.
Okay, thanks. Anyway, morning everyone, and our gratitude to Swami for keeping us all safe. A few things to say. Well, last week you would have heard that we got a new devotee called Saisha Ram. She's come from Sydney in Australia. And I was hoping to make her feel a bit welcome today because I gathered last week there was an issue with comms. Anyway, we might catch up with her later. The big thank you to Shankar and Natarajan for the second bhajan that we had prior to the 9 o'clock start. I hope you can make it on the 1st of May, Shankar. We look forward to seeing your performance on that day. Next thing, I sent a link for the NOBC recordings. Please have a look because it gives you a picture of what's happening with our Sai organization here and abroad. Plus, there's very inspirational speeches by Mr. Nimish Pandya, Vice Chair of the Sai Global Council, and Philip von Dietlin, our zonal chair. So have a listen to these. You know, they will really move you, I'm sure. Then next Sunday, we have Truby's Garden Tea Room. Now, this is really a very innovative way of bringing people together, plus generating money for charity. It's run by a lady called Khushida Mirza. What she does is she gets all the ladies together, they all prepare food and they bring it down to a venue. And this time it's in the Guildhall in Christ the Cornerstone. So they sell the food, light lunch, cakes, very nice cakes, and all the proceeds go towards local charities. And I remember a few years ago, I went and I saw Vani turning up with some food. So Vani knows the group. And really, if our ladies want to come as a group, I can introduce you to Khurshida and her team. And they're very nice people to work with, to know, you know. And usually when they have the Truby's Garden Tea Room, I run a stall for the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Now, that's an organization which fights for human rights of Palestinians. I've been in it for more than 10 years. It goes back to the time when I was working out in Kuwait with Palestinians, and I'll tell you something more about that in a minute. But the tea room is very good to go to because it's a nice atmosphere. What I say is the great and the good will turn up, you know, because they all support Khurshida in her efforts. So do turn up. And I was going to tell you something about the Palestinian products that we will be selling. There will be a stall selling Palestinian foodstuff plus Palestinian jewelry, because it's all handmade silver jewelry, mother of pearl, nice to look at and quite unique. There will be other like embroidery. There will be all sorts of handicraft made by women's cooperatives in Palestine. And I'll tell you in a minute why it's important that we support the cause, because apart from our organization being a spiritual organization, which is really great, we are also a social justice organization, right? So it's very important. Anyway, back to what there will be on sale. There will be medjool dates, which are really called the king of dates. And you can see they're really, really very luscious and big. They have very good flavor, caramel flavor. There will be caramelized almonds, which have been grown in the West Bank with fair trade sugar coated. This is very interesting. It's called Frika, which is a high protein, high fiber, low glycemic index cereal, which you can give for diabetic people. It's very good. So Frika, this is something, it's a bit like quinoa, you know, you would have heard about quinoa. Then we have something called za'atar, which is a mixture of herbs. And this is very versatile. I've seen it in Western recipes. They talk a lot about za'atar. You can put it in different items. How I first came across it when I was a junior engineer in the 80s, working in the Middle East. Every week or so, the chief technician, Haji Beher, would bring a big breakfast tray with za'atar, tomatoes, olives, olive oil, cucumber, cheese, whatever. And you would take this za'atar, you dip it in bread, Arabic bread and olive oil, and eat it. And finally, I got some other things like olive oil. Now, this is something really special. It's from the West Bank. Now, I'm going to tell you something which you'll never, ever see in BBC. When people go to harvest this olive oil, olive trees, they always get harassed by Zionist settlers. Like the Zionist settlers will try to cut the trees down, though the trees are hundreds of years old. They will try to burn them. They will try to put Roundup. And one of our friends, Carmen, from here, she was there when they were trying to harvest the olives. And she said a bunch of people from the hills, the settlers live on the hills, they came down on their quad bikes and were trying to run over the people who were trying to harvest the olive oil. And the Quakers in England have a system where they send people to the West Bank during harvest time to stay there with the Palestinians when they're harvesting the olive oil. Because when outsiders are there, the Zionist settlers don't harass the Palestinians because they know that the news will go out. So the Quakers have this scheme where they send people for 3 months, go and stay there while the people are harvesting the olive oil. So they can face a lot of harassment, the Palestinians. So this bottle will cost you quite a lot of money. With the same money, you can buy 2 bottles of Italian olive oil. But people who buy this know that they're paying for a good cause, and it's a worthwhile effort to just buy this olive oil. You don't use it for frying, you use it only for salads and where you get the ultimate taste. Then we have olive oil soap, which comes in 4 different fragrances: pomegranate, sage, lemon and neutral. Is very, very good for the skin, olive oil soap. And the Palestinians have a very long history of soap making. It goes back to the Ottoman days and, 250 years or so. Finally, we have a kufiyah, which is a big Palestinian scarf, and you can actually use it like a scarf around your neck and keep you very warm. And this is from the only Palestinian factory left in Palestine. All this stuff comes from China, but this is actually made in Hebron. Right, so that's what you will find if you turn up at Kushida's Truby's Garden Tea Room on the 27th. Right, Anil, anything else to say before we wind up?
No, Suresh, nothing from me.
Excellent. I'll see you shortly, Anil, to sort out our prayer items for 1st of November, 1st of May with Sanjay Bhatt. Anyway, everybody have a good time this week and we'll catch up next Sunday. Sai Ram and God bless.